Welcome back. For the first time since women began competing at the Olympic Games way back in 1900, there are now as many female athletes competing at the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics as males. And a new report from S&P Global Ratings says women's sports are pulling in record viewership numbers across the U.S. and Europe, creating new opportunities for investors and for advertisers. For more, let's bring in one of the authors of that report, Nicole Serino, Director of Credit Research and Insights at S&P Global Ratings. Nicole, thanks a lot for joining us. Let's start, first of all, with this very evident boom in women's sports that we're seeing not only in the Olympics, but women's basketball has exploded in the United States. This city is getting a WNBA team. In a couple of years from now, there's a very successful and new professional women's hockey league in Canada and the U.S. What are the factors that have led to this enormous success?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. But yeah, our research really highlights that these big moments that we're seeing in the women's game right now across all those leagues that you're talking about. And with these big moments, there's this tremendous growth that we're seeing in terms of viewership and attendance levels. From the last women's basketball NCAA tournament that you talked about, that championship game had 18.9 million viewers. And it beat out the equivalent men's championship game for the first time ever. And then to women's soccer over in Europe, teams like Arsenal tripling their attendance in just 1 year and selling out the men's team stadium. And I think the fan bases that we're seeing, they're not just women supporters supporting other women, but we're also seeing a lot of men supporting women as well, which I think has been really key to the success that we've seen in terms of growth.
Any idea why it's happened now? Longtime sports fans, and I would qualify as being a member of that group, can remember when women's sports were regarded as very much second tier to the big league sports that men played.
Yeah, for sure. I think the reason for why it's happening now is really comes from an investment perspective. You know, we're finally seeing this investment in women's sports right now. Investors are realizing that, these big moments we're seeing, the viewership, the attendance we're seeing is really quite startling. And from that, we're seeing these big media deals come through and investors from all over really deciding to invest in women's sports. So I think it's all these big moments kind of compiling up into this momentum that we're feeling right now.
How important has Caitlin Clark been in the U.S. basketball story? First as a superstar in college basketball, now a superstar in women's professional basketball. She is a incendiary talent, and she also seems to project very, very well as a person, as a human being.
Yeah, for sure. I think she's played a great role. She's been in that, the big moments that we saw within the NCAA tournament earlier this year. And it's really attracting those big audiences and viewership that I've been talking about. So yeah, she's played a pivotal role. She's just one of those stars that we talk about in this piece that, having success in the NCAA and then bringing that forward to the WNBA. Who is also now seeing those startling viewership and attendance records, as well as that big media deal that they just landed.
So let's talk about advertising. How much movement are we seeing on the part of big advertisers towards women's sports?
Yeah, the impact of these big moments that we're seeing throughout women's sports, we're seeing through these big media deals, especially in the U.S. Women's League, such as the NWSL, which is the Women's Soccer League here in the United States, with its $240 million domestic broadcast deal with Amazon, CBS, ESPN, and Scripps. Or the WNBA's landmark deal I just touched upon, which is an average of $200 million per year from its media partners, Disney, NBC, Universal, Amazon, over the next 11 years. So I think in turn, more media coverage for women's sports events leads to this greater visibility for sponsors and advertisers, which really just presents an attractive value proposition.
What about investors? What kind of flows of investment capital are we seeing into, I guess, the teams that women athletes play in their leagues?
Yeah, for sure. We've seen a tremendous growth in investment as well as what I've already talked about, coming from a lot of different avenues. You have investors that include sports stars, movie stars, venture capitalists, entrepreneurs, as well as more institutional investors, global, investment firms and private equity. As well as new funds that are being launched specifically to invest in women's sports. For example, we highlight in the report Mercury 13, which aims to invest 100 million in women's football teams globally, and has already acquired the Italian Serie A team FC Como Women. So I think there's many different avenues for investors to kind of get in at these early stages, but they've seen great growth right now. Within the women's game, for an example, implied annual growth rates for a group of investors in women's sports teams from 2006 to 2024 have ranged anywhere from 13% in the WNBA for the Chicago Sky to the more recent stunning 350% for the Las Vegas Aces. And then NWSL teams like the Seattle Reign, owned by OL Reign Group, just in June, finalized the sale of its club for $58 million, which is more than a 1,500% return on investment in just a 4-year time period. So tremendous growth that we're seeing from an investment perspective, and investment really has been from a lot of different avenues.
Nicole, thank